Right then, lads, welcome back to Cossy's Arsenal podcast. My name is Cossy. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, wherever you are in all parts of the world. Back again with another upload. We're going to speak Jordan Henderson. We're going to speak Houssem Aouar. We're going to talk central midfielders. We're going to speak much about incomings in that central midfield, Granit Xhaka, and a couple of other stories rotating around the central midfield. We will speak about Manuel Locatelli as well, because there is something very interesting about him. And I told you in this week we have a big update on Houssem Aouar, and we would have a big update on Manuel Locatelli as well. So do me a favor. Go down, do smash like the like button. Let's get them to 500 likes on this video. We're really gonna try to dive into much of the central midfield situation. So let's dive into that. Please do smash the like button. Subscribe to the channel. We're very close to getting to 29. Very, very close to getting to 29, and that is our immediate target. But of course, the final target is always 50,000 subscribers, and you guys are the real ones, of course. So after that, let's get the party started. Where do we begin? Let's start off with Jordan Henderson. Now, yesterday I did see a couple of reports from the Daily Star. Obviously, I do give them credit, the Daily Star, because they reported about they broke the story of Ben White, and they also broke the story of Houssem Aouar last week, close to the weekend, and they really came out and said, I think they're really doing a great job. I thought it was Sky, but eventually it was Daily Star, and then I gave them the credit they deserve. But yesterday they came out with a story, and the headline was Arsenal are in pole position and leading the race to sign Jordan Henderson from Liverpool. I mean, let that sink in. Let that sink in. And that caused really a couple of mixed reactions in the Arsenal fan base and the footballing fan base all over the world. Liverpool fans, Manchester United fans, Chelsea fans, and Arsenal fans. Where there is Arsenal, you're gonna find reactions of, from all other clubs. So the debates were: one, Arsenal fans didn't like the player, didn't want to take in Jordan Henderson because of his age. And of course, Liverpool fans as well didn't want to lose the player, Jordan Henderson, because he's been an integral part of this club. I think for the past 6 years, Henderson has actually been around. If you look at the complete squad overall Liverpool had almost 5 years ago, one of the players that actually survived, if not the only one, was Jordan Henderson. The likes of Lallana have gone. The likes of Charlie Adam, they've gone. The likes of Andy Carroll, they've gone. The only player, the likes of Stuart Downing, the only player that survived in that squad overall was Jordan Henderson, and there is a reason as to why he survived. Now, look, if you ask me, is Liverpool going to sell Jordan Henderson? They will be crazy. Absolutely crazy. He's one of the most underrated midfielders in the Premier League, most underrated players in the Premier League. I think if you ask me most underrated players in the Premier League, I'll take Jordan Henderson, I'll take Fernandinho, Ruiz Rosa, I'll take him, Manchester City. I'll take Jorginho, Chelsea. They do a lot, and their work is actually noticed as Kevin De Bruyne or Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, whoever you can think about, or Mane or Salah. So Liverpool letting go of Jordan Henderson is a crazy idea. Absolutely crazy. After losing Gigi Wijnaldum in this window, I don't think they will risk losing another experienced captain, because he's their captain. I don't see that happen, and I don't know where the Daily Star actually picked up the story. But if you ask me, do I feel Jordan Henderson is important in Arsenal? Absolutely, 100%. Yesterday, part one, we were on a live show, and you asked me, guys, which English players do I think can captain that Arsenal side? And one of the players I said was Jordan Henderson. That is one of the things you get in. And Mikel actually said it very clearly when he was speaking about the profile of players that we need to bring in. He said, we need the experience now. We need the leadership in different areas. So what Jordan Henderson gives you is a lot more than you can even expect. So if you've been sitting behind the door and frowning that Arsenal is interested in Jordan Henderson, I don't know whether the rumors are actually true or not, because I really don't trust the Daily Star 100%. But if you've been frowning, you better get a smile on that face. Jordan Henderson would give Arsenal what David Luiz has been giving us: leadership, a winning mentality, character, experience, and more. And more. It's the same reason as why Liverpool sign a player like James Milner. I mean, it's crazy. Why would they sign a player like James Milner? But if you think about it, in a footballing sense, past, if you go over, the qualities of a player, and then you think about what can they offer apart from scoring a goal or creating a chance, then you know why Liverpool signed a player like James Milner, and a couple of other transfers that look weird but exactly make sense. So Jadon Henderson to Arsenal, I don't see that happen. I would love it to see. I would love it to happen. I mean, it would be very, very interesting to have such a character in that Arsenal side, because despite the fact that you might bring in James Maddison, despite the fact that you might bring in Houssem, AUOAR, Thomas Partey, Ben White, Albert Sambi Lokonga, you could even bring in Erling Haaland, there is that thing that lacks, and it is the experience. It is the leadership. Arsenal do not have it, and among the players that we are signing at the moment, I don't see anyone that has that character. Fight until death. That character, that leadership, I don't see it in anyone unless I can be proven wrong. Let's speak about Houssem AUOAR just for a minute, because now for Houssem AUOAR, and there's a reason that's why I put a question mark on the title. Very, very big, there's a big reason that's why I put a question mark on the title. Now, a couple of days ago, 2 days ago, or 48 hours ago, reports did come in from France, and they did actually circulate a lot, and that's why I've taken a lot of time without doing this story. Reports did come out indicating that Houssem AUOAR deal agreed between Lyon and Arsenal, deal agreed between the player and Arsenal as well. However, there was something holding Arsenal back, and it was the Manuel Locatelli deal. So let's discuss, because this is now going into deeper, into the deeper ends of the sea. What actually happened, this week is Arsenal went back with another offer to Lyon, and the offer is believed to be around 22 to 25 million euros. That is what it's all believed to be. I mean, nothing is 100% concrete. So it is believed to be that Arsenal went back with an offer between 22 to 25 million euros, according to reports from France, and Lyon actually agreed to the deal. The players already agreed to join Arsenal. The players already agreed his terms with Arsenal and accepted his fate that, yes, I might be going to a club that doesn't have Champions League football, but let me go and play in the Premier League, and maybe Arsenal is building up a big project. Next season, part one, or next season, part two, we could be in the in the Champions League, and that is where we are at the moment. Now, what is holding this deal back is also reportedly that Arsenal are still waiting for the official result coming out of the gamble between Sassuolo and Juve. I've spoken about Manuel Locatelli on a couple of days, and I'm not going to do a video about Manuel Locatelli today. No, instead of Manuel Locatelli, we will talk about Ben White, the Ben White update in depth, and then Tammy Abraham. So Arsenal are still waiting for Juve and Sassuolo to take their final steps. What is happening is Juve is still saying, we want to take the player on a 2-year loan deal. After that, we will give you some money. We will include an obligation to buy. Sassuolo in the first place had disagreed with the deal, but they seem like they do not have an option, because it seems like the player wants to join Juventus and not Arsenal. So Arsenal, I think what we need to do at the moment is pull out slowly by slowly. He was our main target. He was our major target. He doesn't want to play for us, and we've already made it clear. Mikel has already made it clear. Players that do not want to play for Arsenal will not join the club. We are not asking players. We're not pleading with players to join. Players that are only 100% convinced, players that are only 100% convinced of joining Arsenal will be welcome to the football club. So what is happening with Houssem AUOAR there is Juve have not cracked with Sassuolo. They have not actually cracked the deal. And Arsenal do believe they have the potential and ability to convince Manuel Locatelli otherwise. That is what is actually happening. So Edu and Mikel do feel like we can't convince the player otherwise. We can't talk to the player to sign for the club, and leave Juve. That is gonna take a lot of time. That is gonna take a lot of work to do. We're running out of time. Today is surprisingly the 22nd of July. We have less than 9 days, or we have 8 days, I should say, to the end of this month, and we shall have just a fortnight to the beginning of the season. What that means, in your sense, or in my sense, is you've got to wrap up the deals as soon as possible. There's a lot of work to do. You have not announced Ben White yet. His medicals are not even done. I've seen a couple of people saying medicals done. Not yet. So we have not done medicals for Ben White. He has not been announced. Houssem Aouar has not yet been announced as well. Or deal is not yet official. James Maddison, a lot of work to do in that one. I will speak about the James Maddison deal in the 5th video of the day, and we will dive into how Arsenal could actually mess up this deal, or could actually make it right by adding some players or excluding players. Which is the better deal? Adding the likes of Maitland-Niles and Reece Nelson, or actually pulling them out of the deal? We will discuss that in depth at exactly 6. But what I think about this one, what I think about this deal, the Houssem Aouar deal, is if Arsenal are really serious, they've got to let Manuel Locatelli go. He's a player that doesn't want to join us. He's a player that is not desperate for a move. He's a player that would rather stay at Sassuolo rather than move to any club that is not Juve. And Fabrizio has made it very clear. The player's had Juve at at his heart for almost forever. So there is no way we are fighting a battle that we are never gonna win. It's like you're fighting a lost battle, and doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's the same way we lost Emi Buendia, thinking about Martin Odegaard, despite the fact that reports came out and said we were never interested. We were interested and we were beaten. That is all I know. I don't want to take the excuses. So with Houssem Aouar, deal agreed. There is that the possibility is big that a deal is agreed, but we're still waiting for the Manuel Locatelli situation to evolve. If it evolves in the right direction, what happens? Do you then tell Lyon, we won't take the player, we have got our main target? I mean, it's like you're kidding. It's like you're joking with them. And but what for me this shows me is the links between Houssem Aouar and Liverpool and Spurs are so weak. Because if Arsenal have agreed a deal and they're still wasting a lot of time and bragging around, that shows you that it is Arsenal that is the final destination of this man. And Lyon now know it is either Arsenal or no one is going to give them the amount of money they do need in the player. I remain Cossy, and I'll speak to you very, very soon. That is the third upload of the day. They've been speaking about Houssem Aouar, Manuel Locatelli, as well as Jadon Henderson. Let me know in the comments below what do you think about Arsenal waiting for Manuel Locatelli as well as signing Jadon Henderson, the man with experience, leadership, character, and of course the winning mentality that we lack at the side. I'll be back very, very shortly, and when I come back, we will discuss more of Tammy Abraham to Arsenal and a couple of other forwards.